Okay, so I'm just gonna keep this brief because we're gonna be here all day if I actually try to go in depth. So, Ruko's known to be pretty hard to use for a lot of people, so I'm approaching this by showing you like things that will go wrong and some like recommendations for like how to make the voice sound better. I guess I don't know how to word this. So one common occurrence I see in a lot of Ruko covers is like this distortion that happens in like the mid to high range, and this is what it sounds like. I think this happens because in the original recording there's like a lot of distortion in like the end breaths and some other notes. So one way I usually just go around this is by putting another suffix at the end like this. See? Sounds a lot better. I also know that More Sampler can render it pretty well, but it's still kind of too breathy for me, so I just usually use the suffix trick, but you can also use the distortion to like your advantage like this. See? I didn't even put any growl on that. Also this thing happens in like the higher range with like the vowel notes like this. So in this case it sounds a little too scratchy to my liking, so usually if it's like a all note, you know, for example, I just turn into a CV note just like this. This method's usually best for like the B4 and above range. Sometimes I actually think it makes it sound stronger at times. I don't really recommend doing this for like lower mid ranges because sometimes it's a little too distorted, so use that method with caution. So I think that's mostly it for like the high range. For the low ranges, you don't have to do so much editing, but these are just like little recommendations. I would definitely recommend using like different types of resamplers, because if you use like the regular resampler, it could sound like this. 窓の外をくらんでしまうような街の明かり So yeah, it's a little too staticky for me, so I recommend using the resamplers on the screen right now. I would also recommend messing around with the gender flag. Sorry, Italosynth users, you can't do this. In this instance, I use G4 and this is what it sounds like. 窓の外をくらんでしまうような街の明かり So I guess one more thing I would recommend is to mess around with the constant velocity. I would say a constant velocity of 140 or below is best if you want like a slurred or sultry kind of sound, because if you put like no constant velocity in a high fast-paced song, it sounds like this. Yeah, it sounds a little wonky, so in this case I use at around like 200 for this song, and this is what it sounds like. So if you want that iconic Copycat 12 sounding Ruko that's usually just spam 200 as much as possible. So I think I covered just about everything. If I missed anything, feel free to comment down below and ask a question. I'll try my best. This thing's already long enough. Okay, bye.